If I meet a person, especially if it's a girl, if they like fixing electronics or disassembling them, even if they like disassemble a small toy that has like a motor or a battery, that's also fine because they're learning, they're on their like first steps. My name is Mariam Ben Nakhim. I am 13 years old.
My name is Thomas Burns. I am Mariam's father, and together we started Mariam's Computer Repair.
My interest in electronics started when I was 9 years old. My father brought our friend's iMac, and it needed a hard drive replacement. And I was like, oh, this looks interesting. Let me just ask him about what this is and maybe I could help about the things that he's doing. I took the screen off, of course with my dad's help. There were a lot of small parts and also these wires just going through the computer, and I was just curious about it. I wanted to know how the computer worked. I replaced the hard drive and I wanted to do more stuff related to this subject.
We're a little bit out on the frontier when it comes to fixing modern tech in Tbilisi. Your parts are 2 weeks away. So that really motivates you to be very resourceful, creative sometimes, in repair. We were fixing friends and families' computers and phones just because we were interested in it. At some point we realized that we were one Facebook page away from an actual business. And so we made it official, and now it is very much a full-time endeavor. I called it Mariam's Computer Repair. Not only is it projecting the fact that women can repair things, which I think is critically important, but it's also a point of pride for us as a family.
The favorite fixes I like to do these days are mostly phones and computer. I like to replace the batteries or clean the fans, replace the paste that is used for cooling down the computer. I like how concentrated I am with connecting this small piece.
Mariam is a naturally very curious person, and so I wish I could say that I inspired her to follow this path, but it really came from her. The most important thing for me is that she feels free to pursue her interests without any limitations. There are always going to be people, no matter what you do, who are saying you shouldn't do that, or why are you wasting your time with that. But what's important to me is that she's not afraid to feed that curiosity.
I was playing with my friends. There was this man that was our neighbor, and he said, do you really fix electronics? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, kids, especially girls, shouldn't be fixing stuff. And I'm like, why? And then he's like, well, fixing stuff isn't for girls. The thing I want to say about kids, if you're interested in electronics and if there is someone that is stopping you from getting interested in this, then you should, how do I say this? Don't listen to them.
We run a YouTube channel where we restore a lot of this old Soviet tech. The world of Soviet electronics was a very isolated, sort of sealed-off world. Sure, there was influence from the West, but for the most part, the Soviet Union was behind the Iron Curtain. So you have these very talented engineers developing this tech. In 200 years' time, they're going to look back on the 1970s, 1980s, as the moment that human civilization changed. That was the birth of the home computer. The markets for old tech in Tbilisi are glorious. You go there and you can find such gems. There's nothing digital around. And there are moments that feel a little bit like Bladerunner. If you go deep enough, and Eliava is sort of this labyrinth that you can easily get lost in. The more you get lost, the more interesting things you discover.
What goes through my mind when I look at old parts in Soviet electronics, I always think, how was this made and how did it survive? There are these small TVs that my dad restored, and it looks like a treasure. You could put this in your room and watch stuff, and it's really cool.
The idea of restoration, of using those skills to restore, that the old tech has value, I think that that's only now starting to sort of seep into the culture. The problem here is that a lot of that tech is being destroyed.
All the Soviet electronics have a bit of gold inside, and the people usually destroy those tech and take the gold outside. It's probably 5 cents of gold, and they just destroy this treasure.
So I sort of see our work in restoration as an effort to save a lot of that.
I feel great whenever I fix something, especially if it's my friends or if it's a client, because it's like I'm getting rid of things that are supposed to be thrown away, and actually feel happy about that.
In our family, my wife and I have really tried to use this interest in repair and restoration to cultivate a broader philosophy to life. That when you have a problem, let's fix it. Once children believe that problems can be fixed, then it's only a small step to realizing that you can create the life that you want. You can become the person that you want to be.